Everyone thinks a long ash tells you everything about a cigar, that it means better construction, better quality, a better smoke. But that's only part of the story, because a long ash can mean a well-made cigar, or it can just mean everything looks right on the surface. And if that's all you're paying attention to, you're missing what really matters. Most people treat ash like a scoreboard. How long can I keep it? How far can I push it? But ash isn't something to show off. It's feedback. And if you actually understand what you're looking at, your cigar will tell you exactly what's going wrong and what to do about it. Ash is what's left behind after combustion, but not all ash is formed the same way. The way your ash holds together comes down to three things: the mineral content in the tobacco, how the cigar was rolled, and how evenly it's burning. A well-constructed cigar uses long filler, whole leaves running the full length of the cigar. Those leaves burn in layers, slowly, consistently, and that's what creates a firm, stacked ash. Cheaper cigars use chop filler, short pieces, uneven density, inconsistent burn paths. That's why they flake, crumble, and fall apart early. So yes, ash can tell you something about construction, just not in a simple way people think. A long ash doesn't automatically mean premium. It just means the structure is holding, for now. You can have a well-made cigar that drops ash early, and a mediocre cigar that holds ash longer than it should, because ash length is influenced by more than construction. Humidity, how fast you're smoking, even how you're holding the cigar. So chasing long ash? That's not control. That's ignoring better signals. If you want to read your cigars properly, stop focusing on how long the ash holds, and start paying attention to why it's behaving the way it is, and what to do about it. When ash falls apart early, that's usually heat. The cigar is burning too fast, which weakens the ash before it can form. The heat can come from puffing too often, but it can also come from a cigar that's too dry. And if the filler isn't packed consistently, you'll get weak points in the burn. The fix is simple. Just slow down. Give it more time between draws. Let the cherry cool slightly before the next puff. If it's still burning hot, let it rest for a minute. You're not trying to keep it hot, you're trying to keep it controlled. When ash holds firm and stacks clean, the burn is stable. Everything is moving the way that it should. This is where most people make a mistake. They tap it too early. Don't touch it yet. That ash is acting like insulation. It's regulating temperature and keeping the burn even. So let it do its job. But once that ash starts getting too long, you're not improving anything anymore. Now you're risking airflow restriction and instability. That's when you tap, intentionally. Not out of habit, but because the cigar is telling you it's time. If the ash starts leaning, splitting, or forming unevenly, that's an airflow imbalance. One side is burning hotter than the other. That's how canoeing begins. The fix is to correct it gently. Rotate the cigar. Let the slower burning side catch up. Take slower, more controlled draws. You're not fighting the cigar, you're rebalancing it. Ash isn't just leftover material. It actively affects how your cigar burns. That layer of ash at the foot acts like insulation. It slows combustion, keeps the cherry from overheating, and helps maintain a more even burn. When you constantly tap the ash off, you remove that insulation. The cigar burns hotter, faster, and less controlled. But if you let it build too much, you create the opposite problem: restricted airflow, uneven burn risk, and eventually, a mess. So the goal isn't to hold ash as long as possible, and it's not to knock it off constantly either. It's timing. You want enough ash to stabilize the burn, but not so much that it becomes a problem. Personally, I let mine get to about an inch. That's where I find the best balance: stable burn, controlled temperature, minimal risk. Anything past that, you're not improving the cigar anymore. You're just increasing the chance that it ends up on your shirt. Smith stuck around. For a long time, long ash was seen as a sign of quality and even skill. There were actual long ash competitions, people trying to hold it as long as possible without it falling. And over time, that turned into this idea that long ash equals a better cigar, even though that's not really how cigars work. And you've probably heard the story about Winston Churchill, that he would use something inside his cigar to keep the ash from falling during meetings. It's a great story, but it's likely just that, a story. Still, the fact that it gets repeated tells you everything. People have always been obsessed with long ash, even when it doesn't actually mean what they think it does. If you stop chasing long ash and start paying attention to how it behaves, your cigar becomes a lot easier to manage. You'll catch problems earlier, you'll make better adjustments, and you'll get a more consistent experience every time you light up, because every problem your cigar has shows up in the ash first, if you know how to respond to it.